While everyone is panicking about AI taking their jobs, smart entrepreneurs are quietly moving into businesses that AI literally cannot replace. I'm talking about remote cleaning companies that are generating $10, $20, and $40,000 a month while being protected by the AI disruption. In this video, I'm going to show you why this is the smartest move you can make right now and how people just like me and you are building these businesses without ever having to touch them up. Look, I've tried various online businesses in the past 10 years, and I've watched markets get decimated overnight. Remember when everyone was getting into Amazon FBA, then Facebook ads got really expensive and made that market really hard to execute in. Drop shipping was the golden ticket at one point, until everyone flooded in and the margins got extremely compressed. Then cryptocurrency and NFTs, they had their moment as well before they all came crashing to a halt. And now AI is coming for all things content creation and software related. Here's what I realized. Every time technology comes in and makes something easier, it makes everything else harder. When AI can write copy in 10 seconds, suddenly every business owner thinks they don't need a copywriter. When AI can design logos instantly, graphic designers are now competing on price, not value. But here's the kicker. While digital services are getting commoditized, physical service businesses are not. They're becoming more valuable than ever. Think about it. When you can get a website built by AI in seconds for free, paying someone $5,000 to design a website doesn't seem very valuable. But when you're a busy executive working 60 hours a week, paying someone $200 to clean your house, that's not expensive and that's not a huge expense. It's actually buying time back for your weekend. So while everyone is chasing the AI trend and heading towards that direction, the people that understand that you have to zig when other people zag will understand that the local service-based businesses have a huge opportunity for you to get into and build presence and build value and build wealth in. Which is why I think remote cleaning is a perfect vehicle for addressing this trend and market dynamic. No matter how advanced AI gets, someone will always need to get their physical place cleaned. No software is going to show up to a home with a vacuum cleaner. Someone has to physically move items all over the house, clean those surfaces, organize the rooms, period. And if someone says, hey, Michael, what about the robots? They're coming. I would say before we're at a mass production of robots at cost value that anyone can buy, we're still very, very far away from a hardware standpoint and a manufacturing standpoint to be able to have that service the entire masses. Second, the trust factor. When people let someone into their house, they're not just buying a cleaning service, they're buying a peace of mind. They need to know the cleaner is vetted, insured, trustworthy. You can't outsource the human element to an algorithm. And the beautiful part about this model is you do not have to do the cleaning. You become the middleman, the management, the quality control, and ultimately the business owner. You find the clients, you find the cleaners, you manage the operations, all from your digital device. And lastly, this model is recession-proof. When the economy gets tough, people are gonna cut their Netflix subscriptions, not their house cleaning. Especially if you're targeting the right client. Busy professionals see this as an essential, not an option. So if you understand this model and then you say to yourself, how do I position myself to take advantage of this? We're gonna go into the right way to approach this. That way you can take full advantage of this opportunity for yourself. So the first thing I would do is understand who your ideal target customer is and focus on premium clients who value convenience over price. So most people will get this wrong from day one, thinking, hey, I need to get into the business, I need to compete on price to win all of the clients. Wrong, you're not starting a cleaning business at that point. You're starting a convenience business that happens to be doing cleaning. So my positioning strategy, and something you could think about for yourself, is that I want to be the type of company that presents itself as a home manager for busy professionals. Notice I didn't say cheap cleaning or lowest price in town. We're selling time and outcome. We're not selling on price. So that's the first element I would do to approach this the right way. The second thing I would do is make sure that I have a systems-oriented approach from day one. So don't think like a cleaner, think like a CEO. Having SOPs, having checklists, having standard operating procedures for everything that happens in every contingency that happens in your company, clear communication systems, automations, and everything documented. So when I bring my first cleaner on, so when I bring my first client on, I know exactly what I need to do and it's all there. I just need to execute it. And by the way, if you want to see exactly how I built my remote cleaning business from 0 to 40K a month and how my students are hitting 10K a month within 30 to 120 days, click the first link in the description below. So in addition to positioning yourself correctly through having the right ideal customer and having a systems-oriented approach, you also need to have a defensible predictable advantage. So when you go into this venture, you know that you have things that are working in your favor. So I'm gonna go over a couple right now. First, and probably the most important, you need to have and develop a robust protocol for bringing on new cleaners and hiring new cleaners and onboarding them systematically. Do you have a step-by-step process that you can follow that can bring in the most amount of cleaners at the highest quality so they can stay as long as possible with your company? When I had no process in place, my cleaners would come and go within weeks. And now I've got cleaners that have been with me for years. That comes through having a regimented approach about how you actually go through that process. In addition to the hiring, you need to have clear client acquisition systems so you can predictably grow and get new clients interested in your services. So that's having great digital marketing strategies, that's having great organic marketing strategies, that's having good referral programs, that's having a good online presence. That means having a good Google business profile. That means having a great website that converts cold traffic to warm traffic and ultimately buyers, right? So having that system in place becomes very predictable on how you're going to get customers, and that's not a problem anymore for actually growing your company. And then the last one, which I've mentioned before in other videos, is taking all of those client acquisition systems and making sure that that drives LTV. And what I mean by LTV is recurring cleanings. One-time cleanings are a grind. You're constantly hunting for new customers. But monthly clients, weekly clients, bi-weekly clients, those begin to build security and predictable revenue, which ultimately is building the real business. I learned this personally when I was analyzing my own numbers. In the initial months, my revenue was high. However, my recurring revenue was very low. And I realized this is what's causing the stunt in my growth. And this ultimately is causing all the headaches in my business. So I shifted all of my focus towards that direction. And that's when my business really started to take off. So those are the things that I would do to position myself in this space if I were to get into this today. Now, having said all this, I think that the window is closing to some degree, and you should get started on this ASAP. And here's the reasons why. If you start now, you're able to capitalize on the most important quality about getting into any business, which is time in business. If you spend enough time in the business, you'll be able to develop a skill set that is impenetrable by other competitors. It's not about being early to avoid the competition. It's about being early enough to build something so strong that the competition is irrelevant. The cleaning industry is massive. We're talking tens of billions of dollars and growing every single year. Having said that, there's room for thousands of successful operators. But here's the key difference between those who do really well and those who struggle. It's the time to build the right systems. So the compounding effect has to start today. Take, for example, Zach, who launched 9 months ago when he had just one client and he was doing everything manually. Fast forward to today, he's got 200 clients a month, a team of 12 cleaners, and systems so dialed that he's working 1 to 2 hours per day max. And here's what's beautiful. Every month he waited would have been 1 month less of that compounded growth. Every client that he signed in the first initial months have now become referral sources for other clients. Every system he's built has now saved tens of hours over the course of months. So that's the infrastructure advantage. So right now, with technology advancing, you have the opportunity to build a new type of business in the right way. Comparing that to trying to jump in a market, trying to figure it all at once, trying to build all the systems while competing for market share. It's like trying to change the engine while the car is driving. And what really gets me excited about, if you can understand, hey, I'm here to build systems, understand the process, and build this skill set while this opportunity window is here, I can then replicate this across multiple markets or multiple home services. Because once you've dialed in the systems, you understand what it's like to go from very, very small to very, very large, and you can apply that skill set across home services in general. But here's the key. You had the time to learn and build the systems correctly in your first market. Then you have the opportunity to multiply. And I believe we're in this perfect window where the business model is proven, but not yet obvious or fully played out. The tools exist. You can run anything on a digital device now, but most people in this particular space are still thinking old school. That gives you an opportunity to come in, build something unshakable, not to avoid competition, but to build something so strong that competition will not matter. So to recap, AI isn't necessarily destroying opportunities, it's reshaping them. While others worry about automation, smart entrepreneurs are building and focusing on businesses where human trust and physical presence matter. My students are proving it works. Mike hit 10,000 in just 23 days. Sarah reached 10,000 in her first month. And Sam scaled to 20,000 in about 45 days. All building these AI protected businesses the right way. If you want to see the exact system I use to help people build remote cleaning businesses to 10K per month, click the link in the description below and I'll show you why this opportunity won't last forever. Subscribe for more videos like this and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.